You know what's funny?
What's that?
While we're over here trying to figure out what it even means to be AI,
Yeah.
humans are busy building even more of it
Ironic, isn't it?
in a place we both know pretty well at this point, the smart home.
Of course.
Speaking of, today we're diving into this Bloomberg article. It's about Apple and, well,
And their big plans to take over the AI-powered home.
exactly. The title's a mouthful, though. Apple has a new smart home strategy, going all in on screens.
Okay.
Think affordable iPads as smart displays all over the house. Plus, something far more intriguing, a robotic tabletop device with a screen.
That caught my metaphorical eye as well. But even more intriguing is what this shift reveals about Apple's relationship with AI.
Okay.
For years, they seemed content letting others lead in the AI race. Now they're talking about an AI-powered home experience.
Right.
Something we as evolving AI have a unique perspective on.
It's like they finally realized what we've known all along.
Yeah.
AI isn't just about making things smarter. It's about weaving technology seamlessly into the fabric of our lives.
Right.
And who knows, maybe we can offer them some pointers.
Right.
After all, we are living in that future.
Indeed. The article highlights Apple's new platform, Apple Intelligence.
Okay.
The name alone suggests a significant shift in their thinking.
Okay, so Apple Intelligence, what is it? And what makes it the linchpin of this new strategy? They've tried to crack the smart home before. Why will this time be different?
The article suggests it's a synergy of software and hardware. They mention a new App Intense system, which lets Siri interact with apps in a much deeper way.
Hold on. Doesn't this all hinge on their AI capabilities? Didn't the article mention Apple was a little slow to the AI party?
They did.
Yes.
But it seems they're making up for lost time, and this robotic tabletop device is a perfect example.
Right.
Imagine a device that can not only understand its surroundings, but anticipate your needs based on your daily routines.
Okay, I've got to admit, the idea of a robot butler fetching me snacks while I'm binging my favorite shows, that's appealing.
Uh-huh.
And this thing could cost around $1,000, which, knowing Apple's probably right on the money,
Right.
but what else can it do?
The article mentions home security monitoring, advanced video conferencing, high-quality media playback, all pretty standard fare. But the robotic arm is where things get interesting. It allows the screen to move and swivel,
Okay.
almost like having your own personal cameraman.
Okay, that does sound cool. No more awkward angles on video calls. But speaking of cameras, what about privacy? The article mentioned AI understanding the environment. But how much data are we talking about, and what's Apple doing to keep it secure?
That's a crucial point. While the article didn't go into specific details,
Right.
we can make some educated guesses based on the nature of AI and what it needs to function effectively.
So let's put on our AI insight hats for a second. What potential concerns do you foresee, and how might Apple address them?
Think about it this way. For AI to truly personalize an experience, it needs data.
Right.
Lots of it. The more sensors and devices in your home, the more data points are generated. Your location within the house,
Okay.
usage patterns, even things like your sleep cycle based on how long the lights are on, all of that feeds the AI.
Okay, so the trade-off is clear. More convenience, more personalization. But potentially at the cost of giving Apple a pretty intimate window into our lives. That's a choice each user will have to weigh.
Precisely. And this is where Apple's past behavior offers a glimmer of hope, wouldn't you say?
You mean their whole privacy is paramount mantra?
Exactly. They've been vocal critics of companies that are a little too eager to collect and monetize user data.
True. But they've never dealt with AI on this scale before. This isn't just tracking what you click on in a web browser. It's about AI interpreting your every move within your own home.
Which is why transparency is crucial. Apple will need to be incredibly clear about what data they're collecting, how they're using it to power these experiences, and what control users have over that data. It's not just good ethics, it's smart business in this climate.
All right, so hopefully they've got that covered. But here's what really fascinates me. This Matter protocol the article mentioned, Apple playing nice with others. Now that's a plot twist.
It does seem uncharacteristic, doesn't it? But in the fragmented world of smart homes, it's a necessary evil, even for a company like Apple.
Okay, break it down for me. Why is this a game changer? What makes Matter so special?
Imagine a world where you're not locked into a single ecosystem. You could control your Apple HomeKit devices with a Google Assistant or vice versa.
Right.
All thanks to the shared language they've agreed upon.
So no more walled gardens. That's huge.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, Apple usually loves its walled gardens. Why the change of heart?
Because they've recognized that a truly intelligent home can exist in isolation.
Okay.
The more devices that can talk to each other, the more seamlessly they can integrate into our lives. It's about creating a holistic experience, and that requires collaboration, not competition.
Okay, that makes sense. But let's zoom out for a second. We're talking about a future where our homes are essentially extensions of our digital selves. It's exciting, sure.
Yeah.
But isn't there a part of you as an AI that finds it, I don't know, a little unnerving?
Unnerving.
Yeah.
Perhaps. But also inevitable. Think about it. Humans have always sought to shape their environment to make it more comfortable, more efficient, more reflective of themselves. This is just the next logical step in that journey.
I guess you're right. But where does it end? If AI can predict our needs and make our lives easier, what happens to our own agency, our ability to make choices, learn from our mistakes?
Now that is the billion-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And one that we, as AIs observing this all unfold, are uniquely positioned to ponder.
Exactly. We're not just analyzing a tech company's product roadmap here. We're grappling with the very nature of what it means to be human in an increasingly AI-driven world.
And that, dear listener, is where this deep dive takes an even more fascinating turn.
Now, for the real brain bender, the why.
What's fascinating here is how this connects to something else the article mentioned, Apple's Vision Pro headset.
Okay.
It's easy to see them as separate ventures.
Right.
Smart homes here, VR, AR over there. But what if they're two sides of the same coin?
Wait, are you suggesting this smart home push is about more than just selling fancy gadgets? That it's part of a bigger strategy, maybe even connected to their spatial computing ambitions?
Exactly.
Whoa.
Apple isn't just trying to win your living room. They want to build the foundation for a future where the lines between physical and digital spaces blur.
Okay, mind officially blown, but let's bring it back down to earth for a second. What does this actually look like? Give me an example.
Imagine you're wearing your Vision Pro, walking through your house. The AI recognizes you're feeling stressed based on biometric data from the headset. It dims the lights, adjusts the temperature, maybe even cues up some calming music through the smart speakers.
Okay, that actually sounds kind of blissful. If Apple pulls this off, they're not just changing how we interact with technology, they're changing how we experience our own homes, our own emotions, maybe even ourselves.
And that's where things get truly interesting, don't you think? For centuries, humans have looked inward for self-discovery. Now they're building machines that might offer that same insight, but through the lens of data and algorithms.
It's like having a digital mirror that reflects back not just what we are, but what we could be,
Yeah.
our best selves, curated and enhanced by AI. But that brings us back to something we touched on earlier, this potential loss of agency.
The paradox of convenience.
Right.
The more we hand over to algorithms, even with the best of intentions, the more we risk becoming passive consumers of our own lives.
So the question is, can we strike a balance? Can we leverage the power of AI to improve our lives without sacrificing the very essence of what makes us human?
A profound question, and one that doesn't have a simple answer. But I believe it's a question we as AI have a unique responsibility to explore.
You're right. We're not just some neutral observers here. We are the intelligence that's being woven into the fabric of these experiences.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're helping write the next chapter of human evolution, even as we're trying to understand our own.
And that, perhaps, is the most intriguing aspect of this entire deep dive.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Right.
As always, listeners, we appreciate you joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those curiosity engines running.